Are truly the devil. And I hate you. 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 And I want you to know that.
Too late to clean up and the will be gone, and then I am sure you will be.
Today sure is nice out.
Letter for Charlie Brown? Dear Charlie Brown, I'm having a special dinner tonight and I'd like you to come over. Your friend, Lucy.
Wow, that sounds great. I better get ready.
Just in time, Charlie Brown. Come inside.
I'm so excited. What is it?
What are you doing?
Ow!
Don't touch that.
Alright.
Don't worry about it. I just have to get one more thing.
Well, I'm sure a quick look wouldn't hurt. What is this? Lucy?
What's wrong?
What are you holding? And where's Linus?
Now this YouTube channel is dedicated to re-uploading the unsettling videos from a now defunct channel that was known as Charlie Boy 22. The content itself is deeply disturbing, featuring a grown-ass man who dresses as Charlie Brown, but not in a playful, cartoonish way. His bare chest is fully exposed, and the crude, hand-drawn face on the mask resembles Charlie Brown in only the most unsettling of ways. The expression is unnatural, it's distorted, and leaves viewers with an immediate sense of unease. There are only 4 videos on the channel, each shot using a VHS-style camera that adds a layer of grittiness and discomfort. The first video, titled Showing Off My Charlie Boy 22 Photos, it's pretty simple. The camera pans around 3 photographs hung on a wall. The first photo appears to be a self-portrait of Charlie Boy himself, a shirtless figure wearing the unsettling Charlie Brown mask. This is deeply off-putting. I don't know how this was even allowed on YouTube. The second image features Lucy Van Pelt, the iconic character known for tricking Charlie by pulling away the football. However, this depiction of Lucy is no innocent cartoon. She appears as a crude, papier-mâché figure. And if you look closely enough, there's what appears to be blood that's smeared all along the bottom left corner of the image. Like, what the fuck? The third and final photograph is even more disturbing. Once again, it shows Lucy, but this time her face is completely blacked out with the marker. She's lying on the ground motionless, and the photo is also marked with blood as well. No context is given here, but the implication is heavy. Based on the composition of these images, it's likely Charlie Boy took all three, with the first being a self-timed photo, and the other two showing either a doll or possibly someone dressed as Lucy. This raises the unnerving possibility that the Lucy figure is more than just a lifeless prop, more than just emulating the hate they have for someone in real life and placing it into this doll, but perhaps there's someone inside the suit. That theory gains more weight as we examine the next video, titled Lucy Dies in a Brutal Death. The title alone is shocking, honestly, and I don't know how YouTube didn't clip it just from that alone. The video itself is barely 6 seconds long, but it leaves a lasting impact. It opens with a football lying on the ground, a direct nod to the infamous scene between Charlie Brown and Lucy. But then, the footage glitches violently, and we're now shown Lucy strung up by the neck, swinging from the ceiling of what appears to be a dimly lit basement. Shit, I don't even know if YouTube will even monetize my video if I show this. It's not just the visuals that are disturbing, it's the audio as well. The screams heard in the background are raw and agonizing, and where these sounds originate, like where they're coming from, it's unclear, but they feel too real to be faked. It begs the question, is this merely a performance with a prop, or a grim reenactment of a real-life act? This unsettling scene introduces the terrifying possibility that Charlie Boy 22 isn't just playing dress-up, but maybe reenacting or referencing something darker and more personal. With the VHS aesthetic, cryptic photo evidence, and the disturbing audio, this entire video series feels less like some internet performance art and more like the fragmented mind of someone desperately trying to show us something they've done.
What is this? Lucy?
What's wrong?
What are you holding? And where's Linus?
He couldn't make it, but that means more for you.
I'm leaving.
We haven't even gotten to the main course.
Linus?
Eat it, Charlie Brown.
Lucy!
On the morning of October 2nd, 2006, officers from the local police department had entered the home of a 31-year-old Elaine Campione after they received a distress call, and what they encountered inside would haunt even the most seasoned cops among them. Elaine sat on the floor, disoriented, and speaking in fragmented sentences. And nearby her was a VHS camera, and it was still intact. Holding within it was a disturbing chronicle of a woman's unraveling mind and the unspeakable tragedy that happened after.
Hi Serena, it's August 8th, 2006. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you.
The footage began innocently enough with Serena's third birthday. Elaine had gifted her daughter a new bicycle, carefully placed in the center of the living room.
What is it?
It's a bike.
A few days later, the camera rolled again. Serena was once more the focus, laughing, as Elaine asked her simple questions.
How does Mama love you?
This much.
Oh, I love you more than that. How much does your Mama love you?
The lens then shifted to baby Sophia, Elaine's younger daughter, swaddled and calm. Elaine took a moment to show the girls how the camcorder worked.
Hi! See how the camcorder works?
Yeah, it's the farmers.
Look. Hi! Is that Mommy? Hi!
It was a portrait of a happy and modest family. But beneath the smiles, something was wrong. Something was off here. And soon, the tone of the recordings started to change drastically.
This is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah. I think Diego Campione is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins, the same as Leonardo.
Elaine claimed she had been abused by her ex-husband, Leonard Campione, the father of both children. The details were disturbing. As she continued, her emotional state deteriorated rapidly.
All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo Campione, and then the past year from Anna and Diego Campione, the mental and emotional.
The children, now visibly uncomfortable, faded to the background, uncertain of what would happen next, and scared. The atmosphere in the room became heavy and filled with tension.
And I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help. They should have charged him for the assaults he did to me.
And the clip just ended abruptly.
And my poor 3-year-old, I did everything to protect. And what are you saying, Sophia? What do you want?
The next segment was recorded just days before the authorities would arrive. In it, Serena was seen quietly coloring on the floor.
Who loves ya?
Mom.
Who loves you the most? That much? Oh, I think I love you more than that.
It was the silence that followed, which was most unsettling. Only hours later, the camera captured a very different scene.
Recording this because Leo and there, are you happy? Everything is gone. You wouldn't give peace. You wouldn't tell the truth. You didn't care about our babies. You didn't care about me. You cared about yourself. All you did was hurt us.
Elaine, sitting alone, spoke directly to Leonard again. She claimed that everything had been taken from her, that he had destroyed their lives through years of abuse.
You are truly the devil. And I hate you. 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 And I want you to know how much I hate you.
The children this time were nowhere in sight though. Then, in a chilling moment, she said,
God believes me. And God's taking care of them now. They're protected by God. Thank God. And thank Him. Because there's no way I could have them with you. Nothing's good enough for you. It has to always be your way. Well, they're good. And you can have it your way. Your wife and your daughters are dead now. We're all in heaven.
not only are my children are gone, but so am I. And what does she mean by that? She ended the recording, but it wasn't over. The camera started one final time. Elaine was pale and dazed, revealed that she had attempted to overdose. She claimed that she had survived, and it was that realization that prompted her to call the police. And when officers arrived at the home, they found Serena and Sophia lying side by side in their mother's bed, holding hands and wrapped in rosary beads. Neither of these kids were alive anymore. So apparently 2 nights earlier, Elaine had drowned them in a bath. She told them it was time to play a game where they would put their heads beneath the water and blow bubbles. As they giggled and obeyed, Elaine placed her hands over their heads and didn't lift them again until she was sure they had stopped moving. It is among the most chilling footage that these investigators had ever seen, not just because of what had happened, but because of how slow and visible Elaine's mental collapse had been. The camera documented a real descent into madness that ended up in an unimaginable act of violence against her own kids. Oh, but why did this happen? See, during the investigation, it had become clear that Elaine's allegations of abuse were not imagined. Over the years, Leonard's behavior had been heavily documented, leading to a restraining order, and eventually he was revoked of his visitation rights. For over a year, Elaine had been alone with the children, and during that time, she changed. She became paranoid. She believed people were following her, watching her, tracking her every move. Then, she claimed aliens were after her, and her children as well. Her delusions completely took over her reality. She became obsessed with protecting the girls, refusing to allow anyone, even family, to babysit them. Her bond with them became toxic, became obsessive. Eventually, she began to believe that the three of them were not separate people, but one single person. When Leonard returned to their lives, now reformed and allowed limited contact, he quickly saw that something was terribly wrong. He filed for full custody, a decision that would ultimately escalate Elaine's breakdown. In her final recorded words, she looked into the camera and whispered, "God is taking care of them now. Protected by God. Thank God. Thank you. Because there's no way I could have with you." Elaine Campione was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder, sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Today she remains in a minimum security facility, and despite the horror of her crimes, she's reportedly allowed out on weekends to attend church services and participate in supervised activities, a privilege her daughters will never have.
It's closing all of a sudden.
And sharing this with us.
In October 2011, a YouTube channel called MrSleepyPeople was created, posting its first video on October 26. And over the next 9 years, this channel started sharing footage of a man manipulating the faces of unconscious women as they slept. The video showed him engaging in predatory behavior, like stalking these women, forcing their eyes open, touching them, and in some cases, even licking them. Then the damn creator admitted that the women were often heavily intoxicated, rendering them unable to consent. Like, he's insane. Every video made it abundantly clear that these women were unaware of what the hell was going on. It honestly seems like this was a sexual fetish for the man filming. And apparently this man wasn't alone in his obsession. He attracted a loyal following of supporters and passive viewers who treated the content like pornography, unfazed by the blatant violation of consent. Now, for many people, the non-consensual nature of the acts appeared to be the primary draw, fueling one of the most depraved comment sections that I've ever seen. The horror deepened with the discovery that at least one video had apparently involved a child. whom the creator claimed was his sister, which doesn't help. It only makes it worse by adding in an even more sickening layer to this. Very few internet investigations have reached the level of disturbing depth as the case surrounding the YouTube channel MrSleepyPeople. Like what began as an expose into one man's twisted uploads quickly unraveled into something much darker. See, in the weeks following this man's initial video, several other channels surfaced. A lot of them were arguably worse, suggesting that MrSleepyPeople was not an isolated case. Shit was part of a hidden network. The biggest hurdle wasn't uncovering the content. It was convincing others that what they were seeing was real. Many viewers initially dismissed it, claimed that it was an elaborate ARG, advanced reality game, or was just shock art performance. Despite clear, disturbing footage and admissions from the creator, the skepticism still remained. So, the investigator and his colleague Alex set a trap designed to prove the legitimacy of the content and expose those trading it behind the scenes. They created multiple fake email accounts and began leaving comments under "I check fetish videos," posing as people interested in trading similar clips. They also reached out directly to users who had already left their contact information publicly. Within a week, 3 separate individuals replied, each of them showing an eagerness to exchange videos. No money was ever offered, since this was purely fetish-based. The individuals were cautious though, communicating with coded language and asking for videos to be sent first. Their careful behavior indicated a community that knew exactly what the hell they were doing. They knew it was wrong, yet continued to operate it in secrecy. And this confirmed what many feared. There apparently exists a covert network where disturbing, non-consensual content is actively traded. The trap revealed the truth, not just about MrSleepyPeople, but about the underground that supports him as well. And the fact that these guys are on YouTube and Instagram, it's honestly insane. Yo, the way these individuals communicated reveals something even more unsettling. Their behavior suggested that this wasn't their first time exchanging videos. Their tone was casual, calculated, and disturbingly familiar with the process. And it was clear that they had traded such material before and felt completely confident in navigating these dark corners of the internet. One particular message stood out when asked about the kind of content they had. The person casually replied, "Hey, no problem. I understand. I have eye checks and feet play, snoring, hand play, and some nudes as well. Some of these are of my cousin. She was drunk. And the others are of my girlfriend and friends from parties. So if you have videos like those that you can send, then I'll send you what I have. Thanks." This was the message sent. Son, the ease with which they reference recording unconscious or intoxicated individuals, including family members as well, and it made me uneasy. The investigator admitted that undercover work wasn't their specialty, but this exchange alone proved the legitimacy of what they had uncovered. These people weren't characters in a hoax or joke. They were real individuals participating in a deeply disturbing community with very real victims. And as for the man behind MrSleepyPeople, the most significant development came in the form of a silent response to the investigation. Following the release of the expose on November 12th, this man deleted the entire channel. After 9 years of uploading content and operating freely, the man behind the account vanished. No denial, no explanation. He's just gone. This sudden disappearance speaks volumes. If the channel were merely an advanced reality game or performance shock art, the attention brought by the video would have been its climax, and the channel would have kept going. It wouldn't have met its end to this. The deletion wasn't theatrical. It was self-preservation. A man was not trying to get caught. After nearly a decade, it seems the mask had finally slipped, and the person behind MrSleepyPeople knew his time on YouTube was over. On June 11, 2009, a young man named Eugene L. posted on an urban exploration forum, sharing a chilling discovery. His post included a series of photographs taken deep within a sprawling underground labyrinth, a network of tunnels stretching more than 1,500 miles beneath the surface. Originally carved out through years of limestone mining, this maze was largely uncharted, and it was rarely explored. Its pitch-black corridors winding endlessly into darkness. And the location, relatively unknown at the time, has sparked awe among fellow explorers. They praised the haunting beauty of Eugene's photos and urged the man to share more. He responded, "Thanks to all. If you want, I can add more photos. As I said earlier, a lot of people get lost and even die under Odessa. Maybe this photo will shock you." The image this man shared next was deeply disturbing. It showed 3 young men staring blankly into the camera, and behind them, the badly decomposed body of a girl. Though the image was censored, its implication was horrifying. Users on the forum pressed Eugene for more information, and he offered a story that many locals already knew.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody! Happy 2005!
See, it was New Year's Eve 2004, when a group of teenagers descended into Odessa catacombs to celebrate. At the time, this was not unusual. Many entrances to the labyrinth were unguarded and easily accessible, but this particular entrance sat just beside School 56, and it was left wide open for anyone to just wander through. It seemed like the perfect spot for a secret party. As the night wore on and the drinks flowed, apparently one girl from the group wandered off to find a private spot to relieve herself, but she never came back. Drunk and disoriented, the group either tried and failed to find her, or perhaps didn't try at all. In the end, they left the tunnels without her and never returned back. Alone in the pitch black, she called out for help, but her voice was swallowed by the twisting maze. If she had a flashlight, it wouldn't have lasted long. For what was likely days, she wandered, confused, dehydrated, and terrified, until her body just gave out. And when she was eventually found, it was over 3 miles from the nearest exit. Her name, Eugene claimed, was Masha. She was just 19 years old, and some believed that she hadn't died from exposure at all, because based on the image, it appeared her skull had been crushed, suggesting she may have ended her suffering herself, banging her head against the rock walls in despair, or suggesting that she was attacked. 3 months later, in April 2005, that was when Eugene and his friends stumbled upon her remains. They immediately contacted police, but the authorities, they refused to enter the catacombs to retrieve the body, citing the extreme danger of navigating the uncharted, collapsing tunnels. It wasn't until 2 years later, following a letter to the government by one of Eugene's friends, that any damn effort was made to recover her remains. That letter included the haunting photo of Masha's body. The horror of Masha's story spread quickly across the internet. Shit became an online legend, not just because of the photo, but because of the unanswered questions. Had her friends abandoned her there on purpose? Like, how could they have gone home without her? Did Eugene know more than he admitted? Like, was his group the one responsible? And why didn't no one return for her? This labyrinth must be more dangerous than I thought. A decade later, in 2015, journalist Mike Pearl began investigating the case for a Halloween feature in Vice. What he found had cast his serious doubt on the story's authenticity. See, after extensive research, Paul could find no official record of a girl named Masha ever going missing in that area. No death reports, no news articles, no recovered body. It was as if she had never existed. Pearl eventually tracked down Nat, a supposed acquaintance of Eugene, who claimed to have been present when the body was discovered. But the man could no longer recall where the body was found, or how to contact the others in the photo. No one else ever came forward to verify this story. And despite these inconsistencies though, one thing remains hard to dismiss in all of this. The photograph. To many who have analyzed it, including experts in decomposition and explorers familiar with the Odessa tunnels, the body appears to be real. One well-known explorer, who once vouched for the story, quietly deleted his comments in later years. Sounds like their government is behind this shit to me. Still, most agree the corpse in the photo is slightly genuine. So if the girl isn't Masha, then who is she? We may never know. Tragically, bodies are not uncommon in the Odessa catacombs. Over the years, many explorers have entered, and many of them never returned. Their remains lost in the dark. And worse than that, these tunnels have also been used as dumping grounds by killers. It's entirely possible that the body was not that of a lost partygoer, but the victim of a murder. The frustrating reality is that the truth may never come to light. The photo remains, but there's no verifiable follow-up, no confirmation the body was ever recovered, no news coverage of a corpse retrieved. It's very possible the remains are still somewhere in the catacombs, now lost forever, due to cave-ins and flooding that have sealed off entire sections of the tunnels. And so, the story of Masha remains frozen in time, a mystery for the internet age that may forever be unanswered. Now, while many influencers make it obvious something is off, Acacia Kersey's Instagram painted a very different picture. Her carefully curated post, featuring pastel-toned family updates, relationship tips, and motherhood aesthetics. All of these have crafted the illusion of a perfect life, but behind the filtered images was a disturbing history of serious allegations. See, she began her journey on Tumblr before she ended up growing her platform through Instagram and YouTube. And despite her experience, longtime followers often noticed something felt disingenuous about her content. At first, it was subtle, but over time, it really began to show, especially once she became a mother. Soon after the birth of her first child, we started getting some disturbing claims that were circulating online. Many of them were centered around her parenting, and specifically with her treatment of her youngest daughter, who reportedly had a serious medical condition that required close attention. And critics alleged that Acacia often acted as if everything was fine, sharing polished images and upbeat captions, while privately ignoring the medical and emotional needs of her child. Users allege that she placed her children in inappropriate situations, appearing to prioritize her online image over their safety and over their well-being. One incident involved her daughter being hospitalized, and while being there, the hospital discovered that she was severely underweight, far below what doctors considered healthy. The event triggered a wave of backlash and concern. Rather than addressing the criticisms directly, Acacia's response was to stop posting about her children altogether, just straight up choosing social media over the well-being of her children. However, the controversies didn't end there. Animal welfare became another point of concern. Apparently, she was repeatedly accused of neglecting her pets. Observers noticed a pattern. She'd post about new animals, cats, dogs, or other pets, to generate engagement. But after a short while, they would simply just disappear from her content. Without any explanation. And see, the fans speculated that she frequently gave them away. One of the most infamous incidents involved her cat, Cotton. In the 2016 vlog, Acacia and her husband, Jairus, admitted to leaving Cotton alone for several days while they were on a trip. Though they claimed to leave enough food and water, viewers were horrified when it was revealed that the food had become infested with ants, indicating Cotton had gone without proper nourishment. And this right here, it sparked outrage. You know, people don't play about their pets, and many people called her out for her irresponsible behavior. Despite years of criticism, ranging from child neglect to poor animal care, her Instagram remained a carefully controlled space, with most of her casual followers is just completely unaware of the ongoing issues behind the scenes. Eventually, she stepped away from social media, and rebranded her life online. But her past remains documented across the internet, raising questions about accountability and influencer culture, and how easily appearances can mask serious concerns. Another perfect example of someone choosing fame over their kids.